English Secondary School. Today we are going to start with the chapter number 15 of Science 2, that is life processes in living organisms. Now we have all seen many living things and non-living things surrounding us, and as we know, there are various processes are going in the living organisms like respiration, circulation of the blood, then locomotion, moving from one place to another. So a lot of processes has been taken place in the living organisms, and some of the processes are very similar in living organism that has to be taken, that has the processes has to be done. So that will help, these processes will help to live, to survive, help the living organism to survive and sustain in the environment. And these are the processes which are not seen in the non-living things, and such processes which are taking place in the living organisms which cannot be seen in the non-living beings are known as the life processes. So these processes, which are similar processes which we can come across in the living organisms, are the life processes. So let's study in details about the life processes in the organisms. So I would like to share these slides with you. So please kindly go through it. So let's begin with it. Our today's chapter, we will start with the 15th chapter, Life Processes in Living Organisms of Science 2, and we are going to study about the different life processes which we come across in the living beings. Now you can see in this picture the many living and the non-living things. In this picture we can see like human beings, then those are the living beings, then trees are the living things, then there are non-living things such as buses, signal you can see. So in our surrounding we come across the many living and the non-living things. So some of the processes such as nutrition, then respiration, then excretion, then transportation, reproduction, then growth or sensitivity, then growth. So these are the processes which we come across in the, which we can see in the living things only, and which we cannot see in the non-living things. So such processes like nutrition, respiration, excretion, transportation, reproduction, sensitivity, and growth, which we can see in the living things, are known as the life processes. Okay, so these are all the life processes which we can see in the living things and not cannot see in the non-living things. Now let's recall how do the digestive system and respiratory system works. So we will see how the digestive system and our respiratory system works. Now you can see in the picture that this is the picture of the canal. Now a farmer transports water from wells, dams to the plants through the channels. You can see in the picture the farmer used this canal to transport the water from the dams, wells to take the water to the plants with the help of the channels. Like that same way, the digestive and respiratory system works. Now you can see in the picture that for respiration, what we take inside, oxygen we inhale and gives out the carbon dioxide. So when oxygen we are taking inside, the oxygen will get combined with the blood, molecules of the blood, then this oxyhemoglobin will go throughout the body. So the oxygen which we are inhaling will mix with our blood and get transported to each and every part of our body. Then in the next picture, you can see our digestive system. Whatever food we are eating, that we have to chew, then it will goes to our digestive system. So digestive system starts from our mouth and ends at the anus. So whatever food we are eating, that having nutrition, vitamins, minerals, which has to be taken up by our body. So whatever food we eat, we chew it, then it will goes to the stomach, then small intestine, large intestine. In this whole process, the food has been digested, and whatever vitamins, minerals has been digested, that has been mixed with the blood and again transport as energy to the body. So when we are eating the food, it gives energy to us. So like in respiratory system, the oxygen combined with the blood and transport to each and every part of the body. Like that also, whatever food we are eating, it will gives energy to each and every part of our body. So how this the respiratory system and digestive system of our body works. So the whatever the product we are getting inside, that is synthesized at one place and it is transported to the each and every part of our body. You can see in this picture whatever the inhale oxygen and the food digested has been mixed with the blood and transported to the each and every part of the body. So the transportation is the process by which a substance either synthesized or absorbed in one part of the body are moved to the other parts. So what is the meaning of transportation? It is the process by which that substance either synthesized, prepared or absorbed in one part of the body, but it has been moved or it has been taken to the each and every part of our body. Now, let's recall, why do we eat fruits and vegetables? Do the plants also need minerals like we do? And the next question is, from where do the plants get inorganic substance other than carbon dioxide and oxygen? So let's find the answer of it. Now, for proper functioning of body, we need vitamins, minerals, which we can obtain from the fruits and the vegetables what we consume. So, whatever vitamins, minerals required by our body, from where do we get? We get that from the leafy vegetables or fruits, whatever food we are eating, that gives us the vitamins and minerals, which will help us to properly function the body. So vitamins and minerals are needed for the proper functioning of our body. And these vitamins and minerals which we get from the leafy vegetables and fruits which we consume. Now this is the our part. Like we are eating fruits and vegetables, then we are getting the nutrients. Now from where do the plants get the nutrients? Plants also needs the minerals. Besides carbon dioxide and oxygen, plants also requires the inorganic material for the food synthesis and proper functioning of their life processes. Now, plants absorb carbon dioxide and oxygen from air to the gaseous exchange from opening, which occurs through stomata. You can see in the picture, the picture of the stomata is given. These are the small opening present on the leaf of the plants. You can see the guard cells, and here the small aperture is there, which is open during the day and closed during the night. So this is the structure of the stomata. You can see in the picture how it works. So there is a gaseous exchange from this, like carbon dioxide is taken in and oxygen is given out by the plants during the daytime. Now, the other organic substances which are required by the plants are, now as we know that oxygen and carbon dioxide, with that other inorganic substances are also required by the plant. So let's see. These are the nitrogen, phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, and sodium. So these are the inorganic substances which are being utilized by the plants. So along with the carbon dioxide and oxygen, plants also require this inorganic substance for getting the nutrition like nitrogen, phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, and the sodium. Now, from where the plants get this nutrition, the roots are very rich and near to the soil. So the roots will absorb the nutrients and minerals from the soil. From there, they will get this nitrogen, phosphorus, manganese, and etc. from the inorganic materials from the soil. Now, as compared to the animals, plants require the lesser energy because plants are stationary. They cannot move from one place to another. You can see here in this picture that these are the two types of plant tissues are there, xylem and the phloem. Let's study in details about it. Now, this xylem is meant for the absorption of water. It will uh, transport the water from the in the upward direction, and phloem is transporting the food to each and every part of the plant. Xylem is conducting the water in the upward direction only. There is one-way procedure. From roots, it will transport the water in the upward direction only. But phloem, whatever food synthesis in the leaf during the photosynthesis, that food material has been transported to the each and every part of the plant. You can see here clearly this xylem carries the water and phloem carries the food material. Both are the conducting tissue. Xylem conducting the water and phloem conducting the food material to each and every part of the plants. And xylem will show only xylem only conduct the water in the upward direction only, which has been absorbed by the roots. Now we will see some small experiment of transportation of water in plants with the help of this periwinkle plant. Now here the periwinkle plant has been taken, then it is washed and cleaned with the help of water. You can see in the petri plate the water has been taken and the roots of the plants has been washed. Then this plant has been set in the beaker where the water has been taken, and in this water the saffronin, that is the dye saffronin or either eosin can be used. Any one of the dye can be used, either saffronin or eosin can be used, which is a red color dye. And after that it has been set for 2 to 3 hours. And what we can observe after 2 to 3 years, the water turns red, and this red color dye has been absorbed by the veins. You can see in this picture the leaf veins has been colored red. Now why this happen, why there is a red color has been seen on the veins of the plant. And also you can see on the stem there is a red color stem and the red color veins. Now why this has been happen, as saffronin stain the xylem. Saffronin, which the saffronin dye has stained the xylem, so it will shows that there is a upward movement only. There is a upward movement. You can see in this picture the xylem is shown, which is stained with the red color, which shows the upward movement of the water. With that we have studied, now we will study about the root pressure. So what we have taken the periwinkle plant, which we have first cleaned the roots of it with the water. Then we have taken one beaker. In that beaker we have taken one water, and the eosin dye or saffronin dye has been taken. Then that plant has been placed in that beaker for 2 to 3 hours. And after that what we can observe that the veins and the stem of the plant colored red. Why this has been happened? Due to the upward movement of the water, that is the formation of the water columns, so that the root has absorbed that red color dye water, and it will color the xylem which are present in the veins of the leaf and the stem. Now you can see here the minerals. These are the roots of the plant. The minerals and water absorbs by the plant, and they will move upward. They will move upward, and while upward movement, now how they will move upward, how they will push up, they will exert. You can see in here the cell. The cell has been turgid with water. They absorb the water and they get turgid, and because of that they will uh, push the water upward. What they do, they will push the water upward so that they will form the columns. They will form the columns of the water so that easily they will move the water in the upward direction. So root pressure is what? Root cells are in contact with the water and minerals in the soil. So these water and minerals enter the cells on the root surface due to the difference in the concentration, as a result of which the cell becomes turgid. The cell becomes turgid, so that this turgid cells will exert pressure on the adjacent cell. Adjacent means the cells which are uh, present around the turgid cells. So they will exert pressure on it and adjacent cells. So this is called the root pressure. And under this effect of this pressure, the water and minerals reach the xylem of the roots, and to reduce this difference in concentration, they are continuously pushed forward. So as a result of this, the continuous movement of water column is formed, which is continuously push ahead. So this pressure is sufficient to lift the water up in shrub, small plants and small trees. So let's see the video for it.
Chapter 2. Life Processes in Living Things. Introduction. We see many living and non-living things in our surroundings. In all living beings, some of the processes are common which help them to sustain and survive. These processes are called life processes. These life processes seen in living things are not seen in non-living things. Let's do a detailed study of some life processes in living organisms.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher.
My internet is having some problem. I'm joined. This video has been
Okay.
stopped. Actually वीडियो लॉगिन नहीं हो रहा है, एक मिनट है सर. I'm trying to do it.
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher.
Transition. canals to the plant through channels. In the same way, the human digestive system and respiratory system work. In the human body, the digested food and oxygen inhaled by the
हाँ
lung
सर हेलो
to all bits of the body.
हाँ सर
By the human digestive system, the food that we eat gets converted to energy. This energy and oxygen to energy. This energy and oxygen is transported transportation. The substances synthesized or absorbed in one part of the body are moved to the other parts by the process of transportation. For the proper functioning of our body, we need vitamins and minerals which we obtain from the fruits and leafy vegetables that we consume. Like human beings, plants also need minerals. Besides carbon dioxide and oxygen, plants also need inorganic materials for synthesis of food materials and for the proper functioning of other life processes. From where do plants get inorganic materials other than carbon dioxide and oxygen? Plants absorb carbon dioxide and oxygen from air through gaseous exchange, which occurs through stomata. The other inorganic materials are absorbed from the soil with the help of the root system. The absorbed substances are then supplied to the required parts through a transport system. Now let us study the transport system in plants. Transportation in plants. Most animals show movement, but plants are stationary. They have many dead cells in their body. Thus, plants require less energy as compared to animals. Plants need inorganic materials like nitrogen, phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, sodium, etc. Soil is the nearest and the richest source of these minerals. The roots absorb these materials from the soil and transport them. Plants have two types of special tissues for transportation of materials: xylem and phloem. The xylem carries water and the phloem carries food material. All the parts of the plant are connected to these tissues. Let us study about the tissues involved in the transportation of water. Transportation of water in plants. Root pressure. Let us perform an activity to understand transportation of water in plants. Activity. Let us take a small herbaceous plant like periwinkle or balsam along with its roots. Wash its roots thoroughly by shaking it in a container filled in water. Place the plant in a beaker containing water and attach it to the stand with a clamp so that it remains erect with the roots spreading in the water. Add few drops of safranin or red dye eosin to the water. Stir the water carefully with a glass rod. We see that the water turns red. After 2 to 3 hours, we shall observe the stem of the plant and the veins of the leaves. We see that the stem of the plant and the veins of the leaves have become red. Now let us take a thin transverse section of the stem of the plant and observe it under the compound microscope. We can see that the cells of xylem have become red in color. Why does this happen? Xylem, which is the water-conducting tissue, is situated in the vascular bundles present in the stem. Xylem is stained by the red dye safranin. This activity demonstrates the upward movement of water from roots. If the same activity is performed using tuberose, we get a similar observation. Let us understand how water is actually absorbed through roots. Root cells are in contact with water and minerals present in the soil. Due to difference in the concentration, water and minerals enter the cells present on the surface of the roots. Thus, the cells become turgid. This exerts pressure on the neighboring cells. This is called as root pressure. This root pressure causes the water and minerals to reach the root xylem, and the water is pushed further and further to eliminate the difference in concentration. This steady movement creates a column of water which is slowly pushed upwards. This pressure is adequate to move water up in shrubs, small herbaceous plants, and even small trees. After understanding about root pressure, let us now learn about the mechanism of transpiration pull.
Now let's revise with it. So, what are the life processes? As we have studied, that the life processes are the processes which we can see in the living things and which are not seen in the non-living things. The processes such as nutrition, respiration, excretion, transportation, reproduction, sensitivity, and the growth. So these are the some of the life processes which we can see in the living things and which are not seen in the non-living things. Now we will see how the digestive system, what we have seen, how the digestive system and respiratory system has been worked. Now with this, in this picture, we can see how the farmers has bring the water from the canals to the plant with the help of the channels. So this is the transportation. And in human beings, we can see the oxygen has been inhaled by the human beings, which has been transported to each and every part of the body with the help of the blood. Like that, the digested the food which we eat, that has been digested in the stomach, and that has gives us the nutrients and minerals which will be transported to each and every part of the body. So whatever oxygen we inhale and the whatever minerals, vitamins we get from the food has been transported to the each and every part of the body with the help of the blood. Then what is the meaning of transportation? Transportation is the process by which a substance either synthesized or absorbed in one part of the body and are moved to the other parts. So what is the meaning of transportation? The uh, the process by which a substance is either synthesized or absorbed at one part but has been taken to the each and every part of the body. Okay, now we will find the question answer of this question. The from where the vitamins we get, the whatever food we are eating, the like usually we take as fruits, which gives us the vitamins and the minerals. Same way, the digestive system and respiratory system also work. And from where the plant gets these nutrients and minerals, besides carbon dioxide and oxygen, they require the other inorganic material also, which are synthesized, which will be help them to synthesize the proper functioning of their other life processes. Now we can see the stomata. There is a small opening present on the leaf of the plants where the carbon dioxide and oxygen has been given by the air to the gaseous exchange, and this opening is known as stomata. And the other organic inorganic substances which has been absorbed by the roots as the root absorbs the other nutrients as they are near to the soil. most of the animals show the movements, but plants don't, so they require the less amount of energy as compared to the animals. Plants require the inorganic material such as along with the carbon dioxide and oxygen, plants also require the inorganic substances. Plants inorganic substances along with the carbon dioxide and the oxygen. There are dead cells also present in the plants. Now let's see. There are two types of tissues in the plants: xylem and the phloem. Xylem will transport, conduct the water in upward direction, and phloem will conduct the food in each and every part of the plant. You can see in the picture, these are the conducting tissues. Xylem carries the water and phloem is the food. Now there is a small experiment has been performed for root pressure. Now the periwinkle plant has been taken with the roots of it has been washed in the water. Then it has been kept in the beaker filled with water. Then the ion or cyanide dye has been two drops of kerosene has been put in the Then after we keep for 2 to 3 hours, what we can observe, this water has been taken up by the tissues of the plant so that the wherever the xylems are present, it will shows the red color. You can see the veins of the leaves has been colored with red color stain. Then stem of the plant is also become red in color. You can also see here the xylem has been stained with the red color, which is the upward direction of the water. So this is the small experiment we have performed to see the root. The root cells come are in contact with water and minerals in the soil, and the water and minerals enter in the soil in the root surface due to the difference in the concentration. As a result, the cells become turgid. You can see here the cell becomes turgid because of absorption of the water. So as it becomes turgid, they will exert the pressure on the adjacent cells. You can see they are exerting as it become larger in size. They will exert the pressure on the cells which are adjacent to it, and they will form the root pressure. They will form the root pressure, and so as the effect of this pressure, water and minerals reach the xylem. Water and minerals will reach the xylem of the plant, and to reduce this difference in concentration, they are continuously pushed forward. They are continuously pushed forward, uh, which will form the pressure in a sufficient amount, and they will form the column of the water in the xylem tissue. You can see in the picture the minerals and water is taken up by the roots of the plant, which will push towards the xylem of the plant, and they will form the column of the water and reached in upward direction. The pressure is such that it is sufficient to lift the water up in shrubs, small plants, and small trees. So the root pressure is adequate to move the water up in shrubs, small herbaceous plants, and even in the small trees. Here also you can see this is the picture given in your textbook. The root hair are present here. The water has been passed from the root hairs. These are the soil particles, and the root hairs penetrating the soil particles. The water from the soil has been absorbed by the root hairs. Uh, then it will goes in the upward direction. Here the cells are present which will absorb it. They will exert the pressure on the adjacent cells. Uh, this will absorb the waters, and you can see here the cells become turgid, and they will form the pressure on the adjacent cell so that the water will reach to the xylem, and the xylem of the plants will carry the water in the upward direction. So the xylem is the conducting tissue which will conduct the water and form the water columns and always push the water in the upward direction. So in this today's lecture, what we have learned about the transportation in plants. Also, we have seen how the xylem and phloem works. Then what are the plants, which nutrients and vitamins are required by the plants, and we have performed the small experiment on the absorption of the eosin or safranin dye by the plants. You can copy down these questions, two questions, or you can take the screenshot of it. Describe the transportation system in plants. And second question is write note on root pressure. Now, in the first question, describe the transportation in plant. What you will write? You have to write the transportation like how the water has been transported from or water and other food material which has been synthesized in the plant has been transported to the plants, like xylem transports the water and phloem transport the food in the plants, which are the xylem are having the dead cells, and they will conducting the water, and such transport system which has been built in the plants with the help of the conducting tissue, that has to be described in the transportation system in plants. And in the root pressure you can write how the water has been absorbed by the root hair present which are penetrating the soil, and how they are taken up the water and minerals from the soil, and how, because of the difference in the concentration, and how the cell becomes turgid, and they will form a pressure on the adjacent cell, so that the water, they will form the root pressure, and the water has been reached to the xylem of the plant, and they will taken up in the upward direction, and that pressure is sufficient enough to lift the water up in shrubs, small plants, and the small trees. So today we have learned about the transportation in plants, and also we have studied about the conducting tissue. In the next lecture, we are going to study about the transpiration pool. Now we have already studied about the stomata, how the gaseous exchange has been taken place in the stomata, and about this, like there's a gaseous exchange. While exchanging the gas, what has been when what actually happens, and you have seen the vapors coming out of the if you tie the plastic bag on the branches of the plant, after one day you can see there is a formation of the water droplets inside the plastic bag. Now why this has been happened, this will be seen in the next lecture. That is the transpiration pool, and we will also see the transportation of food and other substances in the plants in the next lecture. So I will ask you to please uh, read the page number 164 and 165 before joining the next lecture. Tomorrow we will be having the next lecture regarding this, the transpiration pool and transportation of food and the other substances. Read it before attending the lecture so that you will be understood it in a better way. So I hope you have understood the today's lecture regarding the transportation and the root pressure and also the conducting tissue. So we will stop here only. Thank you for joining the lecture.